So I'm in the Lexus UX FSport self-recharging hybrid. Now it has a 2-litre 4-cylinder inline petrol engine with 181 horsepower. The petrol engine itself gives out 150 horsepower, and the electric motor, which is over the front axle, gives out 107 horsepower. Now it's self-recharging, so you can't plug it in. It has no cable, which is perfect. If you don't have a garage or you're parking on the street, you can't recharge anyway. So with this car, it recharges when you brake. So it has a miles per gallon combined fuel economy of 49 miles, but I reckon you can get a lot more out of that if you just use the EV. Now there doesn't seem to be an EV range, but I suspect it's probably in the sort of 5 to 10 miles tops. Now the exterior is quite superb, way above its price bracket. I mean, I'm seriously impressed by it. Like the exterior, which is slightly overwrought, it has a kind of Japanese manga feel to it, or video games. There's an awful lot of layering and styling. Now when I first got into the car, I thought too much, but after living with it for a week, I love it. I really like it. And in fact, the interior has been so well done that it's really like a high-end luxury car, which, considering it's priced at $34,950, is very impressive. So they use a lot of different materials. One caveat, and that's that the central control down here, which is simply for radio, media, volume, etc., is plasticky. Now that's spoiling the ship for a ha'porth of tar. If they'd made that in metal, this interior would literally get a 10 out of 10 from me. It is quite brilliant. There's black leather here with red contrast stitching, various metals, and everything you can see is high end. There may be bits of plastic where you can't see, but it is brilliantly done. The whole thing here is that they use Takumi to check every detail. Takumi is Japanese for artisans, and every time a car comes off the production line, it is checked in extreme detail for 1,000 different things. And they really do take it to extremes, and that's what's so great about Lexus. The reliability, of course, is quite superb, and I actually suspect that they don't have any real garages. I think they're just a sort of trompe-l'oeil front. If you go behind, you'll find a tanning salon, and in fact I do find that Lexus mechanics have suspiciously soft hands, like they've never actually held a wrench in their life. This comes with a 6-year guarantee, or 60,000 miles, whichever comes first. I think actually that's a 5-year guarantee, not 6. So that reliability is a brilliant reason to buy this car, and at this price range it performs really well. The exterior is lovely. It is really good. It's a compact SUV, so it really is very attractive, and it's small enough to drive anywhere without having to worry about curbing it or parking. And yes, it does look quite sporty. The performance does 0 to 62 in 8.5 seconds. The performance is not what I would actually call sports, but it feels really good when you're driving. The acceleration is there, so I'm surprised that it's only 8.5 seconds. I would have put it higher than that. I think to call it sports, you need to be under 7 seconds. So this does actually feel like a sports car. Now you can go on EV just on its own, but I think most of the time it really is in hybrid mode. Now back to the interior. The sports seats are fantastic, absolutely indispensable. Get those. They have this Tahara fabric, and again in the black and red, and they are so comfortable. Can adjust it in any way whatsoever, and have lumbar support, and it's just at the right place to actually support your lower back, unlike some cars where it's too high and totally useless. All in all, this car is superb for the price. The interior is luxury, and the performance is good enough. In fact, what Lexus have done is they haven't given you all the extra bits that you don't need and won't use, like 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Who really uses that most of the time? They've given you decent performance with a superb interior and fantastic reliability. So this really is a great car for the price. It's the first Lexus to be built on the global architecture. So it has a very rigid superstructure, a very low center of gravity, so the performance is good, and refined, tuned suspension. Living with this car for a week, I really like it. I've got used to it. And I think probably the final judgment for any car is, does it make you happy driving it? Do you really enjoy it? And do you kind of identify with it? And I do. It's a good car.